Hello, welcome to another video, and let's talk about if Xbox is actually going to respond to this whole PlayStation Pro stuff, or if they're just gonna kind of see how it goes and adjust their kind of future. Mind you, I'm pre-recording this, so if stuff changes, they could announce some Xbox Series X Pro while before this video, and I look like an idiot, but I'll just take that, guess. Do I think Xbox is going to have an Xbox Series X Pro or some form of Pro system for this generation, especially since PlayStation had just announced the PlayStation 5 Pro? To keep it short, I want to say no, just because I don't think there's that much to gain from Xbox in doing this. A lot of that also stems from I don't think we really needed the Pro for this generation so far. This generation with COVID and everything, the market now just seems like having the Pro version seems very redundant. And if it's going to happen, it almost feels like it should just take over for the standard console and not be like an additional bumped up price version of it, because the PlayStation 5 is getting so much more hate than I originally thought. I thought the price was high. I didn't really click with the no disk drive at first because I didn't know, I didn't see that basically right away. There's also no vertical stand, which is also just why? How hard really is it for you to put the disk drive there? You're paying for a fucking Pro version of the console, and just put the stand just because you got them to manage to buy the Pro version, For this generation, I think it would have made way more sense if PlayStation threw out the PS5 Pro, basically scrapped normal PlayStation 5s, or just keep the Slim, I'm not sure, and just have it as a very minimal bump up in PlayStation 5's pricing. And that's mainly too because I don't think the bump up from PlayStation 5 Pro from the original is that much of a big jump where it's this demands this high price type of thing. And there was some stupid tweet about the inflation stuff, and it's funny because the two cheapest ones by far on the generations on this adjusted for inflation is the PS2 and the PS4, which are both by far the highest selling consoles and most successful consoles for PlayStation. PS3 was way high. Why do you think PlayStation and PS3s got dunked on by Xbox 360 in that time after coming off of a PlayStation 2? They messed that up, and it seems like with the PlayStation 5 Pro, they're just kind of dabbling in this stupidity again. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I rambled on about that enough. It's more about Xbox. If I think they're going to have a Pro, I don't. I don't think they have a lot to really gain from it. I think they understand this generation seems like PlayStation. The only real threat they are is if PlayStation shoots himself in the foot, which it seems like they're kind of doing. They already have two types of consoles, the beefier Series X and the smaller Series S. They're two very distinctly different consoles. You get a completely different kind of feel, game sense. While PS5 didn't necessarily have that, they had the disc and non-disc version, but they're both identical power type of situations. And this just adds a third one, which is just the beefed up type of thing that PlayStation's showing. Obviously, the PS5 Pro is going to be stronger, going to be more powerful than the Xbox Series X. But the original PlayStation 5 has already outsold the Xboxes. I think it would just be a sunken, bad, lost cause for Xbox to put the money invested into making the Pro and shipping it out now to try and take some of the very few people that are going to get the PS5 Pro. I think at the end of the day, Xbox's best kind of step forward for this is basically the resources that they would use to make an Xbox Series X Pro right now. Just put that into pure game development. Just say fuck it with the console right now. They obviously need to have one for when the PlayStation 6 comes out. So I think you keep developing, keep trying to make it better. But you still have years to really worry about your next console. Put more resources in either cloud gaming, which they're really working on, which I think could be in the future something that Xbox, really does well. But I think the only other kind of problem with that is like how long is it going to take for that to really work with a lot of people, with people's internet speed, stuff like that, before it's fully like feels smooth. And I think everyone nowadays, it's games. There's not enough games. It seems like my Rockstar video talked about that, how Rockstar games take so long to get into, like, for them to be released kind of thing. And it's not just Rockstar. There's so many games, the bigger game companies, the bigger game developers, ones that Microsoft now owns, like Bethesda, and stuff like Halo and a lot of other stuff. It seems like these big games are just inflating so much in time spent developing them that if you have the resources, which Microsoft obviously, they have a lot, Xbox has a lot of resources, move some of it more purely into game development and try to just, at the end of this generation, try to create this bigger pool of really good games that drive people to want to play them. They did really well with the backwards compatibility because there are so many good Xbox 360 games in the last generation, and they've kind of continued that forward. Game Pass helps that as well, like creating this longevity of gaming, where I think if they use that to build really good games, have them ready for the new console to be able to play it on that, plus new ones for the new console. And overall, I think we're starting to get to the point where there really is diminished returns with consoles when it comes to graphics. They're going to have to find new ways to really change the experience with these new consoles that isn't just graphics, because it's starting to get to, like, it's to the point where looking at that PS5 and PS5 Pro, there are very small differences that your average person is not going to give a shit about. Even if it is just a YouTube video and that it looks better in person, the PS5 one has always looked really goddamn good, anyways. They're going to need to find certain ways that isn't strictly graphics to pull people to their console. And obviously that starts with just building really good games. That's just my thoughts with Xbox and how they can kind of handle the situation. I don't think they need to make a pro console. I think it would be redundant. It wouldn't sell well. You're already losing the market. Why bother putting more resources into that fight? Wait till the next generation and just build out a great library, because basically all the platforms are struggling with having a big pool of wonderful, super high-end, high-quality games that aren't necessarily third-party. But that is just my thoughts on what Xbox is kind of should do, in my opinion, how they should react to the PS5 Pro, if they should have a Pro version. I don't think so. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think Xbox should do in the future to kind of try and make up some sort of ground. Mind you, I don't really care one or the, I'm not too biased, but I feel like that we always need to have two big companies in the console market to actually push each other forward, kind of thing. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Consider liking, consider subscribing. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.